I'm live. Hey everybody, how are you doing today? But give me a few minutes here though. I set up. I'll be back. And we're back. How are you guys doing today? Whew, I am well. So I'm gonna sit here like that. Okay, I'm still setting up. Okay. How are you guys doing today? I am well in spite of. Okay. Um Today's topic on Let's Talk About It is why am I still fat? That's a topic, isn't it? But it's a question that I hear so many people um, who try dieting ask themselves. They'll get on scale and they're doing all that they can possibly do. They lost some weight, quick at the beginning, maybe lost 9, 10 pounds. And people say, well, it's just water weight, it's not fat. Okay. Then they get on scale and they hear about somebody else who lost weight and why they losing so fast and da da da. But today we're going to dive into why am I still fat and I'm counting calories and exercising. That's going to be our topic today. And we're going to meet and greet the new host of Let's Talk About It, and that too, Keto Gigi. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. Put it in the comment. I could drop the link if you want to come on and be live to ask me questions or to get your question answered. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is welcome Facebook, YouTube, family, and friends, and especially Keto Granny's Way champions. Welcome again to the second Let's Talk About It segment that is new on Keto Granny's Way. It'll be a weekly quick Q&A so that you could ask Keto Gigi any of the questions that you need to ask. It could be love and relationship. It could be small business development. It could be health and wellness. Um, she's expert in all those areas. Okay, so we're going to jump right into this. Let me see. Okay, let's start with the real reason you're not losing weight in spite of exercise. Hmm. So let's see. Are you getting the right kind of exercise? You're not getting enough sleep, are you? You're not making right diet choices. Could that be? You're not controlling your calorie intake. Could that be? You're not drinking enough water. You're over exercising. You should know your metabolic rate. We'll discuss that if we get time to. You have other health conditions that may be influencing a lack of weight loss. But simple changes that can help you to lose weight choose your diet carefully, sleep well, get the right amount of exercise, are three of the main ways that you can do this. Okay. So we're gonna go back to let me start with my story. Why I'm still fat while counting calories and exercising. Um, I've been fat all my life. I didn't understand how I could be in the house with five people and they did not have a weight problem. And I did. Didn't understand that. I didn't even have access to buying food. I ate food that was prepared for me as a young person. And I really believe it was like when I was 13, when about 13, I think it was when um, I started to prepare dinner or meals for us, for my family. So my mom taught me to have a carbohydrate, to have a, well, she said a starch. She said have a starch, a protein, and a vegetable. Whatever meal we was making, we had to have those three. So um, I came up in the 70s where the fat free crave hit. So fat was not attractive at all. Everybody was trying to be flat in the front, flat in the back. Okay. And here I was at 13 being 168 pounds. At 8, I was 138 pounds. I really didn't have no problem with being big myself until I was rejected by this boy. But we're going to talk about that later. That's when I realized I was going to have a problem being fat. Anyway, at 16, I was put on a diet using diet pills. That was my first experience with dieting. But every time I went to the doctor, they gave me this 1,200 calorie diet plan. It had a half a cup of this on a tablespoon this, exchange that, and whatever. That was not tapping into how I ate, my lifestyle. I didn't understand, couldn't comprehend it. At 16, I started taking diet pills, and the diet pills were supposed to take away your appetite. I really don't recall it doing that for me. But anyway, that one failed. Then my mom friend at her job knew she had lost a lot of weight doing the liquid diet, protein liquid diet. So I got on that. I started to lose. I started to lose weight, but um, that wasn't working either because I wasn't eating. I don't know, but anything anyway. Everything went red and I passed out. So I was given a fried chicken leg to eat, and that diet failed. Then I've tried the exercise and the calorie counting. I first started with like about 3,500 calories, and I bring my calories down to 12 because I didn't want to shock myself, trying to do that. I came up at the time where my gurus was Oprah and um, what was his name? Um, the guru. I got his face right there. I'll come back to it though. So those were the two people that I really was following as far as losing weight or anything like that. So um, I gave up the idea. I hated being fat. It was miserable to me. I was not the flavor like the flavor is now. Thick, slim, thick, big. It's the flavor now. But anyway, um, so why am I still fat? I don't mean to babble, but why am I still fat? And this is what I'm going to say. Why am I still fat and I'm counting calories? In 2014, no, in 2012, yeah, 2012, I thought I'd have gastric bypass. That was going to be my magic pill. I was going to lose this weight all once and for all, and I was going to be slim. Didn't know what that looked like, but I was going to be slim. Um, so I had the gastric bypass. The reason why my stomach was the size of a large egg. At that particular time, I was addicted to sugar, refined carbohydrate. If it was soft and chewy, it was part of my diet. And vegetables and fruit was practically null. So I had that surgery done, and I lost in 7 months. I had lost 80 pounds. And each time I went to the doctor, they told me, you're kind of behind in losing your weight. At that point, I was 300 and I think 385 or something like that. I think it was 385 when I started. And I got down to about three, I lost about 70 pounds. So I was like three something. So in 7 months, I lost about um, 80 pounds, 70, 80 pounds, something like that. So there's a reintroduction to food in those 7 months' time. It was steps that you had to take. So by 7 months, I had lost like 70, 80 pounds. By the time I had totally reintroduced myself back to food, in 4 months, let's see, seven, in 4 months, I had gained all the weight that I had lost. And I was trying to figure out how I do that. Now I'm feeling like shame, guilt, embarrassed. My insurance paid all this money. I went through all this stuff to lose this weight and whatever and stuff. And I wound up gaining the weight back. In 2014, I just prayed to God. It was like, God, help me lose weight. Help me, Lord God. I don't know what it is that I'm doing. I count calories, I exercise. I had the room why. I still didn't, and I regained. So I journaled every day, and what I did was I said that prayer, and I left it alone. In 2018 is when I made up my mind that I'm tired of yo-yoing. I'm going to lose this weight once and for all. Come hell, high water, I'm going to lose this weight. And so I was told by my doctor all the time, it's not your fault. You don't lose weight and maintain it because you have hyperthyroidism. So that is going to cause you to not be able to lose weight, and it'll cause you to not be able to maintain it. I said, okay, so what I did was I said, I'm going to set out to find out if I could do something to improve my thyroid health so that I can lose this weight. So my doctor also told me, he said, you can lose that weight if you stop eating after 7:30 in the evening. I said, oh, okay. So I go and search Google and everything. I come across, now I heard about keto. I heard about ketogen. Oh no, I heard about ketones when I was 16, when I was going on the protein liquid diet. The ketones were supposed to be in your urine to show that you was in ketosis. So I did know about that. So when I was in my discovery about how to help make my thyroid healthy so that I can lose weight and maintain it, I came across Keto for Beginners by Dr. Um, Berg. Dr. Eric Berg. And I went to reading what it was that you had to do. Now, mind you, I love fried food, I love fat, I love sugar, and I didn't like exercising. I didn't like that. So I read the protocol, and it said that um, first you had to get rid of the sugar. I said, okay, I can do that. And then it said that I could have high fat. I could have bacon. I was like, wow, that's good too. And then it was not, I found out that exercise was only 5% of weight loss. So it wasn't even good for a weight loss program. So it tapped right into me, right? So what I wound up doing is I followed the keto protocol. The keto protocol was nothing like I was eating. I was eating out 4 times a week. My husband, he cooked. Um, and my contribution, because when I was posted, I was so inflamed, so hurt that, wherever I was sitting because I had bone knees, my back hurt, and at this point I'm 330 something pounds, and I just was a mess physically. And so we would eat out 4 times a week, and he would cook 3 times a week. And when he would cook fried chicken. And I love fried chicken. I like fried food. But he would cook, and then I would eat. So I decided that I was going to try this keto diet, the keto protocol. So I tried the keto protocol and I started. But what I did, first of all, I didn't take no full body pictures. You probably will never find no full body pictures of me before then. They were always here because I was told I had a cute face. I don't know what was happening from the neck down. But anyway, um, so what I did was I didn't weigh myself. I didn't take pictures or anything like that. And for 3 days, what I did, first 30 days, this is what I did. The first 3 days, I did a liquid diet. It was protein shakes, water, and diet pop, or Kool-Aid packs, diet Kool-Aid packs. I did that for 3 days. Then 7 days came. I said, anything that's smashed with a fork, I'll eat it. So that lasted for like 7 days. And then I said, well, I'm going to um, eat vegetables only. So I took the meat out of dishes that I was creating and just made them meatless. And like my chili, my lasagna, I learned, how to make these different things without the meat. So in 20 days, I lost 20 pounds. I wasn't convinced. So I didn't tell nobody what I was doing this either. That's the worst thing we could do is broadcast that we are dieting, because then those people that want to see you fail is looking at everything you put in your mouth. Are you supposed to eat that? Something. Or situations come up or whatever, and then your diet goes down the drain. But anyway, I digress. So anywho, this is what I did first 30 days. When I went to the doctor, whenever I went to the doctor, first of all, none of my doctors ever told me um, you need to lose weight or whatever. Like I said, when I was younger, they just gave me a 1,200 calorie diet. But as I started going to the doctor regularly, my doctors didn't have nothing to say about me being fat. Okay, but when I started losing weight, my doctor started to get concerned because the most weight I lost in 1 month was like 18 pounds. So my doctor was like, "Is you okay? Da da da. You lost like 18 pounds. Da 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 da." And I was like, he said, "You trying to do that?" I said, "Yeah, I'm trying to do that." So I cut out all sugar. I cut out all sugar, and I did not realize until then that I was addicted to sugar. Before then, I had no idea. I went through withdrawals. Sugar is 8 times more addictive than cocaine. To get off nicotine, that was not hard for me as sugar. To get off the drugs like cocaine and marijuana, it wasn't that hard either. To get off of caffeine, it wasn't that hard. But baby, when I got off that sugar, whoo, I had nausea, I had headache, I was tired. It was just miserable. So I see why, one of the reasons why I kept falling off, because that was my coping mechanism to my miserable life, first of all, and it made me feel good. So I was an emotional eater. Okay, but we're gonna cut that short. But anyway, what happened was I wound up in 8 months following this regimen, and I lost 100 pounds. My goal was to, if someone didn't know me, if someone did not know me, they would not believe that I was 405. They wouldn't believe I was 331. That was my ultimate goal. And to be a 14, a size 14, true 14, because I could go anywhere and be able to find that size. That was my goal. So until I reached that, I was not quitting. I was told by my family, my friends, whatever, you look like Skeletor, you need to stop, you need to eat. So what I did was I let them see me eat. I let them see that I'm not starving. So when we go out or whatever, I order whatever it was that I wanted and stuff, but I'm still losing weight. And so in a year, I had lost 157 pounds. No, in 14 months, I lost 157 pounds. But what was not making sense to me is how eating fat was going to help me lose fat. That wasn't registering to me. So, because I'm always taught to, first three things that's cut out your diet when you start is salt, sugar, and fat. Them three right there. And so I still had that mindset to cut fat. I decided I was going to cut my fat intake because I couldn't understand how I was going to tap into my own fat to lose weight. So I cut the fat down. I'm supposed to have like 100 and some grams of fat. Um, 85% of my calories was fat. 20% of my calories were carbohydrate, and then the rest of it was protein. So what I did was I started adjusting. I started, okay, I went without all these things, all this food. I lose the weight. I did the transition and whatnot. And I was like, but this is not how I eat. This is not how I eat. This is not in my circle because everybody in my circle like carbs, like me. And so I was like, this is not. So what I wanted to do is I said, well, let me start testing things. So I was my own lab rat. We would go down to the casino to have lunch at the Motor City. And in keto, you can have these cheesecake fat bombs. And what you eat them and you eat the fat bomb and because it's fat, it will cause you to be not hungry. Okay. So, okay, let's say we got beautiful yours is here. So good to see you. Okay, I'm glad I tuned in to this live. I'm thinking about gastric for next year. Hold on that, baby. Before you do that, okay, we're gonna talk. Thank you for your advice. I tend to love sugary drinks. Yes. And I'm currently 240 at 5'6". Okay, Miss Beautiful yours. Continue to listen. Okay. But put the surgery on the back burner for a minute. Okay. So anyway, I go on to say, um, when I'm down here at the casino, they had these little cheesecakes, little cheesecake set. And I said, well, if I can have cheesecake on keto, then I should be able to eat this. So what I did was I would just eat the inside of it. I didn't eat the crust, the graham cracker or whatever. So I would just eat the inside. But what I did was I became fanatical on checking my blood glucose and my ketones. I had a ketone meter. And what I did was after I had that lunch, I would come home and I would check my ketone. And when I saw that I still was in ketosis, I was like, well, wait a minute. I'm still in fat burning and I had cheesecake. So that got me to thinking. So then I said, well, I miss fried chicken. I miss fried chicken. So I seen this video, Butter Bob. He was frying some chicken and he had fried it without flour on it. I never had chicken without flour on it, unless it was baked. But fried chicken, no, I didn't. So I said, let me try this recipe. His fried chicken looked just like it was fried. It looked like just like somebody fried it with flour. So I tried it. I had some wings, so I tried it. I fried them naked, and I'm only supposed to have like so much protein. I found out that I can have 10 wings that would add up to the 8 ounces of protein that I can have that whole day. I love chicken wings. Okay, so I took the meat off of the bones and this but I tasted that chicken was like, and it was a garlic butter sauce that I used to put on mine. Slap butter, slap it down. So I was like, oh my god, this is so good. I didn't introduce cheesecake. I didn't introduce fried chicken, and I check myself 2 times a day. I check in the morning, and I check in the evening before I go to bed. and I saw that I still was in ketosis. So I was like, oh my God, I eat fried chicken and I can have cheesecake and I'm still burning fat. So I went further and test myself. So what I did was I would I stopped, number one, drinking any calories. I didn't drink any carbohydrate. If it had a calorie, I didn't drink it. Okay. And then I got hooked on a bulletproof coffee. That was my way of being able to have um, um, the bulletproof coffee. I it, I was told that it's supposed to cut your appetite and whatnot, you know. So what I did was I'm trying anything I can to break my appetite, do this, whatever it is. Vernell, hey, good to see you. Hey, everybody. Good to see you, Vernell. Okay, so I'm going. But anyway, long story short, what I wound up doing is adjusting, adjusting, adjusting. My goal was to lose 2 pounds a week. And no matter what diet guides you be on, read the fine print down there. It says results can vary, but 1 to 2 pounds a week is healthy weight loss. Weight Watchers, Slim Fat, whatever they are, just read down there in the bottom. It's going to tell you 1 to 2 pounds. That's healthy weight loss, okay? So my goal was to lose 2 pounds a week, 8 pounds a month, and I gave myself a year to lose 100 pounds. That's what I did. And when I saw the weight was just melting off me, and all I had did was cut out the refined carbohydrates, you know, the cookies, the candy, and stuff like that. But then I wanted to break my grazing habit and I wanted to break my snacking habit. So I wasn't getting ready to feed on keto snacks and stuff like that. I didn't want to do that because I'm breaking a habit of grazing and snacking. So I didn't get into the keto snacks and stuff like that. And then when I did eat something that was snacky, I ate it with my meal. We're gonna talk about that on Let's Talk About It one day too. But anyway, the discussion is why am I still fat when I'm counting calories and doing exercise? So I couldn't do exercise because my bone on bone knees, my back, physically it just was not something that I could do. So I found chair exercises and I said, well, let me do them, you know, and I was like, wow, just these little movements right here, you know, um, was doing a lot for me. So I joined a class of chair exercises, and that got me out of the house and around other people who was doing it because I was so ashamed to go to the gym. I've had gym memberships, you guys, okay? And um, I was too ashamed to continue to go, and my body just wasn't exercising like I seen them exercising because at the time it really wasn't no fat exercise people. You looked at skinny people to do the exercises, and my body just was not moving like theirs. Okay, so I abandoned exercise. So anyway, what I wound up doing is I started there. I started there with the chair exercises. And then as I lost more weight and lost more weight and lost more weight, I noticed after that 100 pounds, my knees wasn't hurting no more. And I didn't have to use my lift chair. I didn't have to use my walker. And I could actually sit in a chair and be able to get up without no pain. And I was like, so I researched that and I found out that I had lost 400 pounds of pressure by losing that 100 pounds on my knees. Now my knees needed surgery according to this the bone doctor, and he said the left knee was worse than the right knee, and I had to lose 50 pounds in order for them to even do the surgery. I said that's a fat chance. Ain't nothing else lost, so I'm probably gonna just walk around with my knees like that. But anyway, to my surprise, I had lost 100 pounds. The pain was gone. Didn't have to use a lift chair. Didn't have to use my cane. I started walking in a heel. Um, I found it. I found it to be more easy to walk in a heel than it was to walk in flats. So I started wearing heels, and I was like, wow, so I'm still psychologically losing weight. I've never been slim. So I don't know what this looks like. So when I look in the mirror or in the when I'm walking and I look in the glass, and I see that image, and I'm like, it took a lot to get to adjust to that. I had 15 weeks of exposure therapy because I had dysmorphia, because my body was fat and tight, and now it's slim and loose. I couldn't figure that one out. So anyway, so that's my story. Okay. And for 9 months, I had did the calorie counting and I had did exercise. I mean, I was faithful in doing exercise for those 9 months, but every time I looked in the mirror, I still saw me fat. And I said, nobody is going, if somebody see me, they still gonna say, well, you still need to lose some weight. I didn't want that answer. So I always abandoned the diet and the snap, whatever stuff. Anyway, so after the 157 pounds, I went into maintenance. Now, maintenance is where the lifestyle starts. It's not hard to lose fat. That's not hard to do. What's hard to do is to keep the fat off. So I was like, okay, now what would be realistic to me for a lifestyle of eating? So I set out this one particular time for 10 months, doing what I figured would work for me. I ate out at restaurants. I ate fast food for 10 months. And I realized how I was eating it was allowed me to be able to lose 14 pounds. So I got some videos to you guys of me doing that. But anyway, I realized that if I cut the bread out and just eat the toppings of the pizza, my body didn't even realize that I didn't have 5 slices of pizza. I had 1 or 2 slices of pizza and a topping off of the rest of it. So I found ways to be able to still have stuff that I wanted and whatnot. And I saw that I'm still in fat burning. In the maintenance period, it took 6 months for my body to regulate, to stop losing weight. Um, so for it to regulate itself. And when that happened, I was like, okay, wait a minute. I can have fried chicken. I can have cheesecake. I can have fast food. I, I was like, well, wait a minute. How is that possible for me to be able to do that when I was gaining weight and fat doing that? And then I'm doing it and I'm actually losing and maintaining. So what I found out is calories counting. That's not realistic to me. Weighing food, calorie counting, weighing your food, you know, those was not realistic things for me, for my lifestyle that I wanted to maintain. So what I did was I said, okay, G, if eating fat if having a high fat diet is causing you to lose weight and maintain the fat loss, then continue to have a high fat diet. So what I did was I only ate when I went back to lard. Okay. I went back to lard. I used olive oil. I used these oils right here, contrary to popular belief, actually works for our body and not against us. See, vegetable oils break down at a high temperature fast, and it's quite inflammable. So a lot of people is hurting, don't realize it's because of they're in a high fiber, a high refined carbohydrate diet, and they're cooking stuff in um, vegetable oils, canola oil, and sunflower oils like that. Okay, but anyway, so everything I cooked it in butter, real butter. I don't use margarine. Margarine is unstable. Okay, it's highly inflammatory, and you might as well stick to what's natural, what's whole. So I cooked everything in butter, and lard if I fried stuff. I stuck close to the vegetables that I ate was like broccoli and cauliflower. I had salad vegetables, but those did not make up my whole diet though. Because like I said, my diet was only about 10% vegetable when I was fat. So what I wind up doing is I saw that I was losing weight, and there was a difference between losing weight and fat loss. Weight loss is what everybody's goal is. Weight loss is a combination of all that we are. Your fluid, your muscles, your fluid, the fluids, the muscles, the bones, everything that we are is weight. Fat is just that. Fat. You lose fat. So this is what I was doing. I was losing fat. So, and when you lose fat, you lose inches. It eventually showed on the scale, but the scale is so psychologically damaging. You're doing all that you could possibly do to lose weight, and you get on the scale and you found that you had gained 7 pounds. How in the heck you gained 7 pounds overnight? You didn't gain fat. And when I found out that the body can fluctuate anywhere from 2 to 7 pounds in any given part of the day, I was like, so if I saw 7 pounds on the scale, I didn't freak out. I didn't trip out because, oh man, again, sabotage myself and go back to the fact I'm doing all this effort and then I'm still not losing weight or I'm gaining weight. Let's see. I would love if you do a video on people who sabotage your progress or don't give you much support. I didn't have none. I didn't have no support. Like I said, my circle were carboholics. I found a keto for beginners support group, and that was my support right there. Every day I was in there. I was looking at the transformation stories and this and whatever. That was my support because the people on the outside of me were concerned about me starving or this and that. And then a lot too, my family never seen me slim, so of course I looked sick to them. They never saw me slim. So I was looking slim. I mean, skeletal or whatever it was that they felt that I was doing. But anyway, so what I wound up doing is adjusting my lifestyle to first of all only eating foods that I love, and I tested myself on those that I feared. And when I saw that I can eat the foods I love and fear while maintaining a fat burning metabolism, my sister, my older sister, they all were slim when I was coming up. She had gained so much weight. And she said, if she could do it, I know I could do it. So I told her what to do. I said, first off, that first thing you do is stop drinking your carbohydrates. She was hooked on that simple juice. What is that? Simply fruit punch juice. That is high in sugar. But she was hooked on that. She cut that out and I turned her on to the sugar-free Kool-Aid packs. So her and her daughter, tried what I was saying. And she was saying, wow, this is amazing. It's just melting off. That's what the fat will do. It will literally just be melting off. Why? Because the body is using it instead of what you're eating. Your body start using that stored energy. This is stored energy. Calories are a unit measure of energy. And when it does not burn up, it's stored. So I had over 70,000 calories, units of energy that I could go without eating to burn up. So anyway, she was saying that it's just melting off me. Da, 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 da. And I was like, okay. So she got on board. And then this one got on board. And it was like, wow, this is really working. So, but I still saw people trying to get pills, trying to take shortcuts and whatnot. But I'm here to let you know, effort does not come in a pill yet. It don't come in a pill yet. So why am I still fat while I'm counting calories and exercising? Because weight loss, number one, is not about calories. It's about hormones. If you have a high insulin environment, weight loss is going to cut off. If you have a low insulin environment, you're going to have a fat burning. So how do you live controlling your insulin? This is the number one key. Number one key. It sounds easy, but it's hard as heck to do. Stay as close to zero refined carbohydrates as possible. That means you got to read labels. And if it has 19 grams of carbohydrates, read your label and see where those carbohydrates are coming from. Fruit and vegetables are free. I did not gain weight eating meat and vegetables and fruit. Fruit and vegetables are free, believe it or not. So, this is what I'm here to tell you today. Knowledge is only powerful when you apply it. Just having it is not going to do anything for you. Yep, I had insulin resistance that caused PCOS. A lot of women have fertility problems because of PCOS, insulin resistance. And insulin resistance is when the body is not utilizing the insulin that is supposed to give to the muscles so that the glucose can go out throughout the body to nourish the cells. So when the insulin is not going to the cells and unlocking it and the glucose going into it, instead is locked. So the glucose is free ranging in your blood. It's nothing that's going to remove it. So you become insulin resistant. And insulin resistant, a lot of times, is going to affect women's fertility, PCOS. Okay, I'm 31, diagnosed at 19. What is LAWD versus vegetable oil? Lard? I thought lard was worse. No! Worse than... Have you squeezed corn and saw oil come out of it? You guys need to look at a video and see how corn oil is actually made. It's a hexane. Well, y'all Google that and find out. But anyway, vegetable oil, way back when Crystal came out, they spent a whole bunch of money to market that. And it was convenient and that, whatever. But hydrolyzed oils, meat and vegetable, what they did was they took liquid to make it into a solid by using hydrogen. Okay. So what people found out about hydrogenated oil was there was a byproduct that happened in it, which was called trans fat. Trans fat was the issue that so many people start taking it out of their food, off their labels, this and that, whatever, because it became taboo. In the UK, they had banned it. They had banned trans fat. So then the restaurants start changing, start changing. A lot of food manufacturers start changing, and they started using corn oil. Okay, so they started using the corn oil, and the food actually started tasting different, especially McDonald's fries. They really started to taste different. But anyway, so lard is a animal fat that the body actually can break down better than an omega-6. Corn oils and stuff like that are omega-6s. There are some healthy omega-6s like walnuts. That's a good omega-6. But these oils that we're using, the margarines and these corn oils and canola oil, if it is stepped on too many times, when I say stepped on, if it's cold pressed, it's not stepped away, it's not stepped on too many steps past what it is, then that could be healthy for you. You're trying to get whole, okay? The whole thing. Not something that's just been processed so much to where it's not even what it was supposed to be. So I I buy this by the bucket. Lard. I buy butter, real butter. I use real butter. This past year, I realized that people are so snacky. They are so snacky. They're snacky. People are snacky. So I said, well, gee, this is what you're going to do. Start coming up with nutritional snacks that will work toward people's goal and not against their goal of fat loss. And I found it out with me how I can eat certain things and still be in a fat burning metabolism. So I came up with these sugar free, sugarless snack or food options that I introduced, and I call them bridges because to just cut out totally carbohydrates, refined carbohydrates, and your drinks, to just cut it like this, if you don't have something that's going to make you feel better while you're going through those 3 days, 7 days, because you're gonna feel you're not gonna feel good. And a lot of times that's why we abandon our diet because we feel miserable. We're hungry, we're tired, we're hangry, and we can't have this, and everybody around us is bringing donuts and candy and this, and that's what we're used to. And then our body, which is the monster, the addiction, which is the monster, we have to learn how to feed it while it's working for us. And that'll be on Let's Talk About It too, how to feed the monster and starve the diet. But anyway, so this is what I'm coming on here to talk to you guys today. Okay, if you want to lose fat, three things you're going to really have to re-educate yourself on. And one of them, and the three is calories in, calorie out. Is cool for a little bit, short term, but not long term. And then a lot of times our culture or our circle or whatever it is not even counting calories and stuff like that. But anyway, so counting calories and exercising. Exercise for weight loss is only 5%. Fat loss is diet. Fat loss is diet. Only 5% exercise for weight loss. So it's not good for weight loss. It's good for your cardio, for your muscles, for being flexible, for your heart health and things like that. Exercise is good for that. But a lot of people over exercise, therefore their body is not losing fat, or they'll go work out for an hour and a half and burn up 600 and something calories, and then go home and eat 1,000. What was the system going through all that? I ain't like exercise. But anyway, so you have to rethink it. It's hormone. It's hormones. Control your insulin. How do you control the insulin? Stay as close to zero carbohydrates, refined carbohydrates. Refined. That's your baked goods. That's regular flours, regular rice. Those kind of products right there. Processed food has too much sugar in it. Even the processed foods that's supposed to be savory. Look at how much sugar is actually in those processed meals and stuff. Number two, you want to stay as close to whole food as possible. If it's a pork chop, it should look like a pork chop. If it's an apple, it should look like an apple. If it's an orange, it should look like an orange. Stay as close to whole as you possibly can. So calorie counting, exercise, and the scale. You have to rethink them three right there. Now, as far as using a measurement of success I use my clothes. My idea was until my clothes fell off of me, literally, I wasn't there yet. And when I was able to put both my legs in a 3X one leg, I was like, wow, I could get both legs in one leg of a size 3X. That was something. And I was able to celebrate 9 scale victories. You have to look at those too. So why am I still fat? You're still fat because exercise, number one, is not good for weight loss. Number two, you're counting these calories and your body is not getting enough of them. So therefore it goes into conservation mode. Number three, as long as you got 5 to 7 pounds of fat on your body, not eating is not going to starve. You are not going to starve, okay? And sleep. A lot of people is not getting enough sleep. Let's see, the way they're feeding in the animals now, they're not giving them the right food either. And they fill it in with hormone and make them grow faster. So you are on a catch 22. Well, you're on a catch 22 with the grass fed also, because people are spending a lot of money on grass fed, but it's not grass finished. They're stuffing it with grain to fatten it up at the end. Or um, you will get organic. Organic has to be certified. If it's certified organic, that means it has no pesticide on it for at least 3 years. Ground that it come up out of. 3 years, no pesticides on it. That's certified organic. So food manufacturers have come up with a whole lot of things to get us to be hooked on this and that and whatever. But for now, if you are absolutely right what they're feeding the animals. They're feeding them grains. So if if you want to eat the meat, I would suggest that if you see a leg that look like this, I would stay away from that. You know what a normal sized chicken leg look like, a normal sized chicken breast. Look at the package. And Amish is the best. That's to me, halal and Amish, you're getting a pretty good meat because halal, the meat is prepared a certain way to where it's going to be healthier for you. Amish is even better because they also have a good process with their meat. But as far as mass producing meat and stuff like that, I found that I'm going to buy what it is because when I tried to watch for sugar, when I tried to watch for nitrates, when I tried to watch for this and that, whatever, that stuff was in everything. And that just wasn't realistic for me. So whatever it is that I want to eat, I eat it. Whatever kind of meat it is or whatever. But I try to find the fattiest pieces of meat. And number two, I when I look for my food, my meat anyway, um, I see if it has antibiotics or whatnot in it. Okay. But I try to stick to what's natural and what's whole that I like. Okay. So the noise that you probably hear is my great grandbabies in the background. They were supposed to be asleep, but they probably woke now. Okay, I'm coming up on an hour. Why am I still fat? You're not getting enough sleep. You're not getting enough food. You're sabotaging yourself with a scale. Um, Exercising. It could be over or under. Okay, come here, Mom. Okay, okay. See, you're on, Mom. Okay, be on. Okay, so I'm going. This is Jemiah, and this is Jacque. Just These are my great grandbabies. And believe it or not, they do not get sugar. I'm teaching them to respect it like electricity. And they do pretty good with sugar-free things, you guys. The the American Pediatric Association says that children, toddlers, children under 2 should not have more than 6 teaspoons of sugar a day. That's a lot. But anyway, I'm going to end this, and I hope that I gave you something to take away. I hope I gave you something to take away, to get you to thinking. It's catching the end of it over there. I see. Oh yes, I do, because my papa was a farmer, so I know food. That's why I said it. These newer generations are getting out of this health problem because of what's in the food. The older generation, exactly. How many of our older people was dying from diet related illnesses when they was using fat, when they was using lard and butter, and salt pork, and they, we didn't hear about diabetes or anything like that until you got until you got older. It was a older person's illness. Now the youngest person with type 2 diabetes is 13 years old, type 2 diabetic. And it's really sad that we're feeding our babies so much refined carbohydrates and drinks that we're preparing them to be obese and to have diabetes early. But anyway, take this away, okay? Counting calories. A calorie is just a unit of energy. Okay, it's a unit of energy. All the fat that's in your body did not get burned up, so it's stored. So look at it like that. The fat that's in your body is stored energy. And the way that I teach people how to eat is to show them how to tap into that stored energy and start using it instead of using what's going into their mouth. Okay? So Keto Granny's Way is all about habituation and to desensitize and bring balance. That's how I maintain. I don't white knuckle it. I don't say I can't have, because I have whatever I want. Shh. There's no cheating in Keto Granny's Way. Nothing good come out of cheating anyway, but eating. EATING. Cheating, eating. Okay, so if you have any questions, please leave them. Like I said, this is let's talk about it and that too. And it will be a weekly segment that is with Keto Granny's Way. But before we go, I want you guys to meet Keto Gigi. That's Keto Gigi. Meet Keto Gigi. Keto Gigi will be answering questions, giving answers, creating a community of support. If you have questions about love and relationships, if you have questions about health and wellness, if you have questions about small business development, if you have questions, there's no stupid questions. Trust and believe. Keto Gigi will have an answer for you. Okay, so this is Keto Gigi. This is Keto Gigi. Yep, that's me. Keto Gigi. I am the host of Let's Talk About It and That Too. So I'm going to leave you guys with this. Knowledge is only powerful when you apply it. And change will only happen when changes happen. No change, same thing. Be a little selfish. Take care of you. Take care of you first. Because if a plane was going down, and the mask fell, and you got a little one on the side of you, it does them no good service for you to put the mask on them and you can't breathe. Put it on you first and then put it on them. So I say this, be a little selfish. Self-love you first so that you can love those ones that's looking for you to live long enough to be able to love them back. So I hope I introduced some things to you. I might have stirred up some things for you, get you to thinking or whatnot. But come on back, look for. Let's talk about it. My community page, or I'll send something out to let you guys know. Let's talk about it, and that too is going to be a weekly segment of Keto Granny Swag. So if you have a story, I love stories. If you have a story and you want to tell it, you got a testimony. You had diabetes. It turned around. You lost weight and you're maintaining the fat loss. You gained weight with gastric bypass, and then you lost the weight by doing it naturally. If you have a story and you want to talk about it, come on to Let's Talk About It and that too. I welcome you. Leave me a comment. You can email me at Keto Granny's Way. No, Keto Granny at ketogranniesway.me. Or leave it in the comment. Leave me your email, and then I'll reach out to you by email and see if you want to come on and talk about your story. Okay? Until next time, take care of you. Take care of the ones that you love, and come on back to fat. Take it off your hips and put it back on your lips. That's Keto Granny's Way. Until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Be safe. Mask up is still out there. Okay. Bye-bye.